Hello and welcome to another in my short range of videos regarding CentreCharge, the world's favourite business centre software. Today's video is about adding a second license agreement for an existing tenant. So the scenario, just to recap, is quite simple. We have an existing tenant in a room and they now want to take a second room, and you want to create a license agreement for that second room only. Okay, so the first thing is you have to find the tenant that you're looking for, and I'm just going to look in here at my licenses, and my tenant here is called Compass Enterprises. They're already in Office 4, so all I simply do is I click the walk-in button and I click the find button. So instead of typing in Compass Enterprises in here, I must click the find button. If I type in Compass Offices, it will create a brand new account. But that's wrong, because what I want to do is make this the same account. I want it to go to the same billing entity. So do not just type in the name Compass Enterprises, click find. This opens a search box for which you can just type Compass, click find, and you can see that Compass Enterprises have two accounts, one in the Grand Tower and one in Crawley House. In this case, I'm going to select the account in the Grand Tower. I double click on that and it automatically pulls me through the information I require and that I know about Compass Enterprises. In this case, the billing contact is going to be Justin Harley. I've added that in, and the license that I'm going to give them is a residential license. They've asked to have a second office, and the opportunity type here, well worth filling in, is an upgrade additional room. Okay, the date they're going to start this is today, the 25th of March, and they've asked to have it for 12 months, so I'm just defaulting the term in there, and it will end on the 24th of March. The notice period is 2 months. The billing address is going to be the Grand Tower, so I'm just going to change that as the copy the site address, and the registered office is remaining the same. Okay, now simply I need to go into the room and rent schedule, add in the room that they're moving into, so I just select my unit and they're going into suite number 10, and I can see here that it's a 20 workstation an office, so they're taking that, and the deposit is 20,000. Now this client has agreed, we've agreed with him that he's not paying £1,000, but actually he's paying £800 initially, and then in September we've agreed that he will need to pay £1,000. So I've put in my 2 steps. My deposit is calculated here at £2,000. If I do want to overtype the deposit, I can, and I'm going to raise him an initial invoice for the first month's rent. Once I'm happy with that content, I just click save. Now, this customer has also asked for some additional services to go in that room, so I'm going to add these at this point. I add them into contract services, I click add, I go into contract services, and they've asked for an IT package per person, which is £50, and we've agreed the price, and again I've decided that I'm going to invoice that now, so I just simply tick the box to invoice that now. So I now press save, and that's added. And on my one-off charges, simply this is confirming that on the first invoice we're going to bill him £800 for the suite 10, a deposit of £2,000 and an IT package of £50, which is correct. I can add any internal comments, so I might actually want to state for anyone that agreed a stepped deal with manager X. So just for posterity's sake, you have a record of who approved that deal and basically agreed that we could do a step deal as we've set up. Now, in this particular deal, this customer has driven a hard bargain and they've asked for some meeting rooms free of charge. So I want to store that, so I'm going to basically, in my non-standard terms, I'm going to select my default terms, and they're going to have my default package which I've had set up, which is 5 hours free meeting rooms for 3 months. Okay, once I have completed my license and I'm happy with everything in that, I simply click preview the license, and my license will be created, and at this point you can issue the license to the tenant so that they can sign and return it to you before you activate the license live for billing. So click send license. I can choose either to print or email the license. In this case I choose to email the license, and what I'm going to do is email it to a client called Justin at rjmetis.com, and in here I'm going to type in an email called Dear Justin, please find your new license as discussed. Regards, Justin. So once I'm happy with that, my license PDF is attached. I simply just click send email to issue that directly to the tenant. Now at this point, if we look at this license here on my list of licenses, I can see Compass Enterprises in Suite 10. The license status is issued. This means it will not affect your billing, but it will once it's been activated. So assuming now you get the signed license back from the customer, you are now ready to activate this issued license. So to do that, simply find the license, double click on the license that you want to activate, and simply click activate the license, and it's retained the existing account's ID. That's very important. So I haven't created a new account ID, I have retained the existing account ID. On this particular account, all the payment methods and invoice methods that they have stipulated previously have been retained. Okay, and if you change them here, it will change them for the account in general. I'm not going to change anything. I simply just want to activate the account and create the initial invoice. So I do that by clicking activate now. And a pop-up box has told me my license number 27 has been activated. My invoice is now created with my rent, my deposit, my internet, and at this point I can choose to print that invoice or simply email it to the client. Now, before you email it, you will need to select an invoice date, so just pick the date that is relevant. So I'm picking today's date, and now going to email that invoice. Click yes to mark them on completion. The invoice will be attached as a PDF, and already we know who we're emailing the invoice to. Because this is a live person, I'm going to change the address to my own personal address and simply send that out. And that license is now activated and billed. If we go and have a look at the account, Compass Enterprises, you will see on the License Agreements tab, you now have a new license for suite number 10, alongside the license for suite number 4. And that is simply how you add a new license to an already existing account. Thank you.